Have you dealt at all with TinyURL? That's the tool. It's an online tool that you use to shorten a URL code to a very much abbreviated one. It's through a service, and it's the kind of thing that you would typically use to direct people deep within your website to very specific pages or documents to be downloaded. Have you used any of that, or do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I think I do use it a lot. I typically use it for posting on Twitter or maybe on Facebook. But the great part about it is if you look at that website, it allows you to understand where the traffic is coming from. If you're making, like, say, a press release available in many locations, that TinyURL will help you track and see where things are coming. And that evaluation process in your PR campaign is just about as important as the PR campaign itself. You can't just have a tree fall in the woods. You got to know that you got to go look at the tree and see what the tree did and how successful was it. And so that helps you evaluate that particularly. But there's a lot of other services that will do that for you too, the evaluation process, and that is a whole other conversation.
How does social media fit in with the online newsroom? Is it a side-by-side deal, or do you feed one from the other?
Well, first of all, when it comes to social media, I see a lot of websites make this mistake. They'll put their Facebook and Twitter symbols on the home page, and they won't put it anywhere else on their website. And that's a huge mistake, because anymore people don't always visit a website homepage. In fact, they may rarely visit the homepage website. You have to put that symbol on every page, and it absolutely has to be in your press room, because a lot of times I will go look at somebody's Facebook page or their Twitter feed because I want to see what are other people saying about this product or this service. So that's a great tool for a journalist that's doing a little bit more investigating. So they work hand in hand. Social media is a listening tool for you to understand what people are saying about you or your product or your company, but it's also a way to distribute your SEO press releases. And I'd really encourage people to attend POMA's conference this summer, because we're going to have some great experts come in and give us some really detailed information about how to write SEO press releases and how to really make traditional and non-traditional PR social media work together so that you get the biggest bang for your PR social media buck. So if you haven't signed up for that POMA conference, I really urge you to do that. We have a very, very exciting business track agenda.
It's easily the strongest track I've seen yet, and it's something that's, in every touch point, it's something that's going to be very valuable and useful to the attendees. I'm very excited about it and happy to be helping with it, but really looking forward to a good group out there. I think it'll be great. Everybody, definitely should check it out. It's online now at professionaloutdoormedia.org. And just love to see everybody out there. Let's see what have a few questions here along the same lines involving high-res files. What resolutions would you suggest, or would you say that it's beneficial to offer both high-res and low-res downloads? Or when we've done them for video, we've offered all three. We've offered a medium-res even, and it's often the most played, but that's typically for viewing and entertainment. What do you find as far as photo downloads and logo downloads? Well,
for low res, you can either do the 72 or DPI, or I think it's the 96. That's kind of more of a middle ground. And with the high res, the 300 DPI is usually where you want to try to hit. So to get the exact number of pixels, if someone wants to know that, they're welcome to email me, and I can look that up, because I have that in a cheat sheet file somewhere.
Good deal, good deal. What about, let's see, here's one from Joe. Are electronic media kits still necessary, say for distribution at a trade show like SHOT, or do you recommend that companies just hand out a business card with their online newsroom?
Well, I mean, I'd like to see electronic media kits online. Personally, I don't need to have somebody hand me a CD anymore or a jump drive. To me, it is almost good enough to hand me a business card and say, hey, I have a great electronic press kit online about, specifically about archery. You need to take a look at it because I've got da-da-da-da-da in that particular media kit. So I like to be able to to group things into topics and provide resources, the images and that kind of thing. Journalists are going to have a wide variety of preferences, and if I was committed to making things easy as possible, I would then also provide a wide variety of options for journalists, because there are people that are in differing levels of the technology spectrum. There are people that are going to want to jump drive, because it's going to remind them, there's a physical reminder of, hey, that's right, this company gave me this press kit, there's neat things, I need to go back and look at it. So, no easy answer. The hard answer, but the right answer is provide your information in as many ways as possible to satisfy as many needs and as many outdoor journalists as possible.
Good deal. I would like to ask all the attendees to forward us suggestions for any future webinars you'd like to see. We intend to do one a month, and we have a handful lined up that we're excited about doing. But any that you would want to see, we'd really like to hear from you on that. So you can post them here before the webinar ends, or you're welcome to email me or Tammy or Lori Lee, any of us. I'm ktate@mossyoak.com. Lori Lee is easy to find as well as everyone else. So I'd really ask everybody to help us out with that too. I am looking through our questions here to see if there's anything to offer. Any more questions from anyone? Let me see what we got here.
Well, while Kevin's looking, just to let you know, my preferred email for POMA is tsapp1, use the numeral 1, @bellsouth.net.
Good deal. Good deal. I think we've fielded pretty well all of the questions. Chris Bunch asks, should there be any registration at all to access an online newsroom? Would you set up, from the company side, would you set it up to at least trap an email address, or what have you found is more effective?
Could you say that again? I'm not sure I understood the question.
Okay. Hold on a second. Should there be no registration at all to access the online newsroom?
I would say unless you're available to review and approve registrations 24 hours a day, I would not require registration in an online newsroom. It's just a barrier, a hurdle to jump through. Good deal.
Good deal. How does a company with a small geographic footprint, let's see. All right, this one, let me read it first. How do you handle state-specific press releases in an online newsroom?
I'm not sure I understand that question, but most of the state wildlife agencies, they just put them in their newsrooms just like anybody would. They, often don't really get national distribution other than maybe the Outdoor Wire. So I don't think there's any particular special cases for handling just a state press release.
Okay. When you've done photos for download before, have you ever used any of the free upload sites that are gallery sites to host these? Like Flickr is the one Julie asks about, but I know I've used a few before for various purposes, never really to pass professional images. What about you? Have you done that for? I don't have any.
I've had personal experience with Flickr, but I haven't used it professionally. Yeah. I have used to transfer large file images. I've used box.net and things like that, and that's another way that works very nicely. But to have something available in the press room that's downloadable anytime, day or night, for an outdoor writer is just really the most handy way to go. Because if you're using something like box.net or Dropsend or some of those, there's a code involved, or you have to share a link. And the whole goal here is make it simple, make it easy, and make it available 24/7.
Jeff Knox asks my favorite question yet, which is there anything I can do to buffer my contact info from spammers and idiots? Considering I don't know about the idiots, but surely we can get rid of some of the spammers.
I would consider that more of an IT question, and I don't feel qualified to. I could look information up, though, if someone wants to contact me directly, but I don't have a response regarding the IT way around spam.
Lori Lee suggests using the word @ instead of the ampersand. Let's see. That's one way that at least a human would have to handle the email address.
Yeah.
To get around that. Kevin Paulson asks, do you think outsourcing your newsroom through a third party is a wise idea, and can you recommend companies that are good for the outdoor market?
I don't want to recommend specific companies, but when you say outsourcing your newsroom, having a PR firm do it, absolutely. I've worked with PR professionals at PR firms and set up people's online newsrooms, and if I highly encourage that if you are running a small business, you already have your hands full with all the day-to-day taxes and supply and marketing and all those kind of details in a business. Absolutely turn that work over to professionals that can help you develop the kind of press room that are going to keep people coming back for more information from you.
Good deal, good deal. Have an SEO question from John Lenz. What are your thoughts on releases in SEO meta tags? Google's latest algorithm negates many of the efforts of SEO strategists, but it still seems common practice to load and insert meta tags into an SEO subhead. Or organic Google hits from a press release still feasible? Have you dealt with any of that?
I think that's going to have to be a topic for another day.
That sounds like a good suggestion for a future webinar, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it does. That's what I'm thinking.
Good deal, good deal. All righty. Well, let's see. I'm just fielding questions as they come in here. We're about to wrap things up. We really do appreciate everyone's time. Again, my email address is ktate@mossyoak.com, mossyoak.com. And Lori Lee Dovey's is LLDovey, LLDovey, at professionaloutdoormedia.org. Let's see. Tammy, would you repeat yours for everyone?
Yeah, mine is tsap1@bellsouth.net.
Good deal. All right. I have a suggestion, as we said, the SEO sounds like a good webinar. I have a few here on dealing with social media. I think that would make a good webinar as well.
Yeah, those are two huge topics that they're each 30 to 60-minute topics just to cover a tiny niche of them.
And we will, especially with on both of those, we'll also have tracks at conference that will deal with those, and you'll be able to pin down people who work in that realm for both social media and search engine edit, search engine optimization edit. Those will be subjects at conference as well. So I believe we may have about wrapped it up. Well, Tammy, thank you once again for taking time to do this. I think this has gone very well. If you could filter out all my stammering and stuttering, it's been a smooth event, and I hope everyone has gotten a lot out of it. I certainly expect we'll do some great ones in the future.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks a lot.